not true. Probably wouldn't tell your friends that I'm sad I lost you. And I used to be on, but now I'm off.
What's going on, guys? Tantruhm here, bringing you part 2 of the editing tutorial series. This one I'm going to go over the velocity, how to sync your clips with music, as well as just kind of make it have a bit better flow with cinematics. Before we get started here, I am on Sony Vegas 15. This is just going to be going over my workflow rather than all the different ways you can change velocity, like on After Effects, or there's different ways on Sony Vegas as well. This is just simply how I do it. I find it's the easiest way as well as the most efficient way. But without further ado, we are going to go get into this. For simplicity's sake, I do have my clips and the music already kind of put into this project file here. If you guys want that below, just let me know in the comments, and then I will kind of put it in the description if you guys do want this project file, so you can kind of tinker around with it as you want. The first thing here I typically do is I'll actually go ahead and mute or just kind of make the visibility of the layer actually off for the kind of the clips that I'm using, and I'll just go ahead and I'll play the music by itself, and I'll press M on my keyboard, and that will add a marker to the different beat drops that I want to kind of sync my music, or sorry, sync my clips to, and make it kind of have that flow. As you can see, I placed the markers by pressing M on my keyboard, like I said. Just at different spots where I want the shots to hit, as well as just like different areas where you maybe can add a transition. Normally do this for like the full length of the song before I start getting into it, but for the sake of the tutorial, I will just show you kind of a small bit of it. So after you have all your markers placed where you want them, you can go ahead and turn your layers back on. Make it visible, and then you can kind of play through that again if you want, or you can readjust kind of where you want the clips. So here I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to organize where I want my clips to end up. What I normally do is I kind of look at the audio bits and see where the spikes are, where like the shots hit, as well as where the drops are. So there you can kind of see, I just line it up perfectly where the shot actually takes place in the audio clip, as well as kind of where the music drops on that first beat. But now I'm just going to go ahead and kind of split this up. To do that, you press S on your keyboard. That's going to split your clip right in half. And I'm just going to drag that over, and I'm going to add a cinematic in between, just kind of add a bit better flow in between the shots. But same thing, I'm just going to go ahead and line up that audio bit with where the actual first drop is. Just kind of give you that first initial placement, and then you can kind of go into your velocity from there. So to actually add the velocity to your clips, you're going to right click on it, and then you're just going to go into the drop down menu that it gives you, and you're going to go into Insert Envelope, and you're going to add Velocity. And you're going to see a little green bar come across your screen, and that's how you know it works. So again, just going to line up the music with that first shot. So as you can see, it kind of already flows really nicely, but now we're just going to kind of adjust the speeds. To do that, you're just going to right click on your line, you're going to hit Add Point, and then you can kind of adjust where you want those points to sit, as well as the velocity of them. So the one beforehand, we're going to set that to 20. We're just going to add a point at the end as well, set that to 20. And basically what that's going to do is slow down the clip before and after the shot. And then we're just going to add a point a little farther down the line, and that's going to have normal velocity, so it kind of evens out the clip again. So as you can see, our clip isn't really synced up with the audio yet. Basically we can fix this simply just by making the shot happen on that drop again. So we're going to adjust the velocity of that point we put on the shot drop, and we're just going to set that to 300. You might even have to kind of set it up a little bit higher. I'm going to set it to 500 actually, just so you can kind of get a better idea of what the shot is going to look like. Maybe we'll just set this one beforehand as well to 40%, just so when we switch over one frame like that, to do that you're going to press left and right on your left and right arrows, on your keyboard, and that will kind of adjust you one frame at a time. So what I like to do is always make sure that it's on that when the ammo actually leaves the cartridge. As you can see here, one frame over, it goes one bullet to 0. But yeah, this is how it looks. So you can see we already kind of have that snapping effect that you get from changing the velocity. I'll play it back one more time just so you get a good idea. And the next thing I'm actually going to do is split this clip at the end. Just go ahead and delete it. Like I said, split is just with S on the keyboard. I just want to kind of get rid of that, add better flow to it. So I'm just going to kind of mess around and place these clips kind of how I want them to be, and then kind of show you how I go about syncing up the second clip with the second drop. So to basically move this clip over to shrink it so it plays a bit faster, you're going to hold control and then just shift it over, and you can see that it's going to play at 150 speed, and that's going to change the entire clip to that velocity. So next, like I said, just going to kind of drag these over, make sure they're all lined up, and I'm going to kind of do the same thing, make sure that it's just kind of cut off on the end, kind of flows right into it, line up the shot where it drops, and put that right along the marker, and then we're going to right click on it, and we're going to add velocity. So again, just right click, go down to insert envelope, make sure you have velocity, get the green line, add a point right where the drop is, add a point after, a little bit down along the line to smooth it out again, and then right before. So we're just going to mess around with the values again. Like I said, kind of get creative with this. I like doing like 20 and 40 before and after, and then kind of doing that 500 initial on the shot. But yeah, we're just going to kind of mess around with the values here, like I said, and then I'm just going to make sure this all flows and the shot actually still hits on the drop properly. So there we can see 1 frame over, we lose the ammo, and the shot is hit. To do this again, like I said, it is left and right arrows on the keyboard. This will move you over 1 frame to kind of give you a really good idea of how you're actually going to be able to line up these clips. But here you are. I'm just going to show you a quick playthrough. So this is a really rough version. Like I said, I usually normally spend a lot of time on this, and I'll go through and I'll add different cinematics as well as adjust the speed on the cinematics, not just clips. So here I'm just kind of adding the final touches, adding in the random death scene, as well as just kind of putting these all in order, as well as like a little outro. Like I said before, it is really rough. I will normally spend like even like up to an hour just on making sure syncing and all the beats are all lined up with my markers. Like I said, use the markers, press M on the keyboard, they're super helpful. S to split your clips, just kind of dummy tips, but super helpful tips that will kind of let you manipulate your clips into making them work a little bit better and flow nicer with your music. But here's one more playthrough, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video and it helped lots. That is going to be all for the tutorial. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment, let me know what else you guys want to see. If you want to see the After Effects tutorial on this, there are plenty of different ways to adjust the velocity. Like I said before, this is my workflow. I usually do the velocity and syncing first, then I do my clips, effects, and all that when the drops actually happen. But that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned for part 3 and 4. Comment below if you guys want me to extend the series anymore. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Love you lots. Use Tantrum TV in the item shop. Peace out.
Nice, dude. Let's go.